At the end of the book, you mentioned that if we find a human species like Floresiensis and it lives up until the present or like the 20th century, it's on the order of a discovery of like, whoa, this is changing our whole world. The coelacanth, they thought that was extinct for millions of years. It's a fish underwater.
Yeah.
I can think of other examples you didn't even raise in the book. The mammoth, the pygmy mammoth in Siberia on an island out there that lasted till human contact something 3,000 to 5,000 years ago. So it's possible that a previously thought of extinct animal, especially one that was, the dates here are for LB1 are 50,000 years ago, geologically yesterday. There's possibility that this animal could have lived on Flores, and given a number of other factors too, how remote it is, how inhospitable it is. It's very elevated terrain. Even up until modern, it's very sparsely populated. The people that live there hardly, like you say, make a dent even into the highlands up until the modern. So that would be a place you would think there would be a small refuge.
So there still are, interior regions and certainly those that are higher up in the mountain ranges where people like us, modern humans, don't go. So, and, it's, I don't know how hard life is there. I guess it depends who or what you are. But, there's a lot of things that Homo Floresiensis, let's talk about them, could have eaten, especially if, as a lot of evidence suggests, that they weren't great meat eaters. They're mostly plant eaters. So, again, this is, as I was going along, there were these similarities, correspondences, and so on that struck me. And generally, I used a method called abduction, which is a bit different from induction and deduction. It's in a sense, you could say it's the old Sherlock Holmes method, whereby you look at a number of possible explanations or all the possible explanations. And you rule them out one by one. You show how they couldn't be true. And then the one you're left with, and which still can't be disproved, the one you're left with, it's got to be the explanation, as improbable as it may seem. So you rule out all the other possibilities, and then, you've got what's left. And so as I say, the most likely explanation of this is that local villagers, highlanders, are seeing something, some living being that corresponds to the way they describe it, and therefore corresponds to something like Homo Floresiensis, or the Hobbit, as it's been called. We might mention
The
that
Hobbit,
because
yeah.
it's perhaps a more familiar term for some people.
And we're talking about a being around 1 meter tall with a brain size around 400 cubic centimeters, which is about a third of the size of our skull volume, just for the listener out there. So this would have been a comparable head size to an early hominid like Australopithecus.